Yo, yo, what's up? All right, so I'm finally ready to tell you guys what I've been up to for the past year. If you saw my post on social media a few days ago, I basically had a little announcement, right? And there's something that I have been working on since 2023, but incognito in the shadows, quietly. I haven't made a peep about it on my social media, although it does have its own social media channels already. It has for a while. But you guys aren't aware of it. I haven't been talking about it because I've been learning the skills, learning the stuff, taking courses, developing systems, learning how to put this together so that way whenever I went public, I could go hard as motherfucker. Okay? So before I tell you what it is that I'm up to, okay, and what I'm doing now, this is my second business, right? I normally have multiple streams of income, right? Like if you guys remember, you've been following me for a while, you remember we used to have a CBD business, right? And which we made hundreds of thousands of dollars from commission-wise out of that, right? We used to have a really big CBD business. And during 2020, when all that stuff happened, and we're in California, right? We had the lockdown and everything. Our business, which I'm in my gym right now, right? Still business owner, still training, still coaching. This is my other hustle. But anyways, in 2020, when we had the scamdemic lockdown, okay, what ended up happening was basically we lost like the 70% of our revenue literally overnight, okay, and which was extremely stressful, especially considering that our overhead just to keep the lights on at our gym and just to keep the lights on at home and everything paid for and everything, right? Our life just to stay where it is $22K a month minimum. Okay, that's not trips, that's not date nights, that's nothing. It's just to survive. To give you a little insight into our lifestyle and how expensive it is, because the gym, it's very expensive to be a business owner, right? And then we live in Orange County too, so Orange County is very, very expensive, right? So that's just to survive, right? So we have to make an astronomical amount more than that in order to, travel, have date nights, enjoy things, invest in more stuff for the business or to do anything, right? So we gotta be doing pretty well, right? In order to survive out here, right? So anyway, back whenever the whole thing happened, back in 2020, right? We lost 70% of our income, like bang, like that, right? Stressful as hell. Now, we stayed locked down for maybe about 6 weeks, and then about 6 weeks into it, I knew they were gonna make this thing last all the way up until the November 3 day, right? I knew it was gonna last that long, so I basically rebelled and was like, fuck them, we're opening up, I don't care if I get arrested, like, we're gonna open up, because if we stay closed, we're going out of business, right? So, because during that period of time when all that stuff happened, like, we were doing really, really well in life, in business. Like, we were like really well, living very good, very comfortable, doing whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, financially, right? And then that happened, boom, right? Now, we didn't have anything really in reserves when that happened, right? And so it was very, very stressful for me. Like, how the hell am I going to support a family of 6, right? With what's going on right now. So it led to me kind of, having some alone time, trying to figure out how I can actually increase the revenue of our business, right? And still be able to keep our lights on, pay the bills, keep the business open, even though this is probably going to last all the way till November plus, right? Which it did. It lasted like a year and a half. So had I not made these decisions I'm about to tell you, we would have closed a long time ago, okay? Now, what ended up happening was, and I remember this, oh man, because it hit me hard, because the day that we were originally they said 2 weeks, right? Then they had that little meeting and they were like, we're going to push it to 30 days. My heart sank. I was like, oh no, this is going to kill us. And then, so I literally went outside, sat on the patio for a good 3 hours solid, just by myself. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just literally in my mind, just trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to take care of my family when we literally, the majority of our income comes from our gym, right? We were making money out of the CBD business, but at that time, our gym became the priority, right? So So anyways, so I sat out there for about 3 hours. Then I finally figured it out. And I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to start focusing more on my online coaching side of my business, which I had been doing for a long time. I just didn't really put a lot of effort into it because, I did it more as like a favor, right? Than actually running it as a business because I enjoyed training my clients in person, right? And so that's where the majority of our money came from. And then we had our CBD business that, that got us lots of money too. But the majority of our income came from our gym, right? And just so you know, our gym is not like a member gym where, members can just come and work out. Like it's a training gym only, right? So it's only like a personal training gym. And so anyways, so I was like, man, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take I have a business credit card, right? Because I don't have anything in reserves at this point, right? I'm still trying to feed my family. We got this lockdown. We're not really making hardly any money at this point, right? Because of the freaking lockdown. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start running ads to the states that are wide open, right? And like Texas and Florida and South Dakota and stuff like that. I started running ads to market my online coaching, right? And sure enough, that worked, that helped. And basically ever since then, between that business and my new business, that is why the gym is still standing to this day. Because ever since that whole thing has gone down, nothing is the same, man, when it comes to our business in California, like the gym business. It has never returned to the pre-scamdemic numbers, right? The majority of the members that we have lost are female, right? So it used to be 75% female. Now it's like 98% men, which is fine, right? But the majority of the revenue that the gym has lost, my other businesses have literally been carrying the weight for the past 4 years, okay? Now, fast forward, right? My online coaching is doing well. I didn't really care that what was going on and the revenue that the gym was making. I didn't really care because my online was making up for it, whatever. I knew eventually after this whole administration, everything's gonna get back to normal. Boom, we're gonna explode, right? Which I still believe, right? But I've always had this huge passion for business and finances, right? And last year, I do a lot of like personal development. I read a lot of books. I take a lot of courses. I do a lot of stuff where I'm always trying to learn and always trying to improve my skill sets and always trying to get better in every way that I can. Because it's, as a business owner, this is something, if you're a business owner, listen to me. If you don't evolve, you're going to dissolve, okay? So I'm always trying to sharpen my skill set, right? And so I start buying a whole bunch of books, and then I start buying a bunch of books and courses on the people who are super wealthy, right? And I happen to discover super wealthy people play this game completely differently than we do, right? And I was like, damn, right? And as I started to see how they are actually doing these things and what they are actually doing, I'm like, dude, I've been playing this game all wrong. And just so you know, I've made millions of dollars in my business, right? But I've been playing this game all wrong, okay? Because the way that the super wealthy do it, which is next, multiple levels up, there's levels to this game, okay? They do it completely differently, right? Which led to me starting my new business. So to give you a quick recap or a quick just explanation of the business that I started last year that I have been working on secretly and quietly that I'm revealing to you today, I started a business lending broker company, okay? So basically what this means is, in English, I help business owners get capital so they can start or scale their businesses, okay? Most of it beginning with business credit, okay? In case you guys don't know this, there's business credit and there's personal credit. They're two different things. Business credit, tons of products that you can get under your corporation's EIN, okay, or your the corporation's name, right? So your personal credit has certain limits, right? And everything that you get in your business credit doesn't show up on your personal, okay? So business lines of credit, 0% business credit cards. There's all kinds of products, thousands of products that you can get that can help you scale or start a new business if you don't have a business yet, right? And the reason why I got into this is because all my clients that are super rich, this is actually how they got rich. And I'm like, as I'm learning all this stuff, and as I've read all these books and done all these things, I'm like, dude, this is exactly how he did it. I'm like, oh man, I've been playing this game all wrong. I've been using my own money to do this stuff, right? I've been using what's left over after we pay all of our bills to invest back into the business and invest into the marketing and invest into the stuff, invest into courses and learning and all that stuff. I've been using my own money for that, which, depending on the time of the year and the seasons, is limited, right? This isn't how the big boys play. The big boys play using other people's money to invest into their business or investments to make them more money. Did you hear what I said? They use other people's money to basically invest into things to make them more money. This is how the big boys play, okay? And one of the things that I have always tried to do my entire career is just try to use is the least amount of debt as possible. Always try to keep it, my cards at zero. Always want to make sure everything's paid off, right? And that's not how the big boys play, right? Like even like one of the most famous entrepreneurs of this day, Alex Hormozi, okay? He began, right, with a little Hail Mary because he started his whole company, which he's worth like $200 million a year right now. Like he's making some crazy amount of money. He started his digital marketing agency initially by putting all his marketing on a business credit card. Okay? He charged up like, I don't know, I think he said like $25K or $50K in ads, just running ads like crazy, and then generated a ton of sales, paid the card off, and just kept repeating that process. This is how the big boys play. Okay? Now look at Alex now. Now, if you look at like some of your favorite investors and people who are super rich that you follow, look at all these people who are in real estate. You think they're using their own money? They're not using their own money, okay? They're using banks' money, hard money, other people's money, investors' money to invest into things that's making them more money, okay? This is how the big boys play, and this is the dirty little secret they don't want to tell you. This is the little secret they don't want you to know because they don't want to have as much competition, right? So, and this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. Once I learned this, I'm like, dude, I've been playing this game all wrong. And I'm like, I really got to get into this industry because I've always had this fascination with business and the finance industry in general. Like even matter of fact, let's check this out. Look at this. Where's it at? My first book. Okay. See that? What's the name say? The Shredded Executive. Okay. Why did I call it that? Because what happened was I noticed that whenever my clients, because a lot of my clients are business owners, once they got fit, their businesses started to take off, okay? 2X, 4X, 10X, what they were doing revenue-wise after they got fit, which makes sense. I mean, you think about it, they're fit, right? So people respect them more, right? So they get instant status and respect because they're fit, right? And so people trust them more. Right? And people are like, dude, if he's that disciplined with his own body and he's got his shit together like that, like he's definitely going to take care of me in this way, right? So more people want to do business with you when you're fit. The second thing is you got more confidence, you got more energy, you got more productivity, right? You got more belief in yourself. So that leads to you taking bigger risks and doing bigger things, which means you make bigger money, right? So, but anyways, that's why I called that the thing because I noticed like every time my clients, they would get shredded, boom, their incomes take off, right? And so I've always had this fascination. That's actually one of the things that I've always enjoyed about helping my guys get in shape is that I always know that they're going to make more money, right? And at some point, they're going to come to me in about 6 weeks, 6 months, or a year and be like, dude, I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life. And I'm like, I know, bro. Isn't it awesome, right? I really love that, right? That's one of my favorite things. So anyways, I got into this and I've been basically working behind the scenes, like putting the reps in, right? Trying to get some experience and trying to do it secretly and learning the game and learning the lingo and just devouring courses and devouring books and devouring all kinds of information so I could make sure that whenever I came public with this, right, I was ready to roll so I can go hard as a motherfucker. So with that said, if you know anybody who wants to start or needs funding for their business. They want to start a business or they need funding for their business. And they need anywhere from $50K to $200K in 0% funding. Did you hear what I said? there are things you can do to get 0% funding so that way you can invest back into your business or take that money and then invest it into something else to make you more money, right? So, but if you know anybody that needs 50 to 200K in funding, send them my way and I will actually help them get the capital that they need so they can invest into their business or put it into some kind of investments so they can make more money. All right. This is a completely different game that the people who are super wealthy are playing. And this is the game that I'm about to start playing myself. All right. Because as I start to increase my revenue more and more and more, I'm going to be making these major investments myself. So it's actually one of the other reasons why I started this business. And so that way I can get there faster, right? Because I realized, about 2 years ago that the life that I want to have, my gym's not going to pay for it, right? I need to make a lot more money in order for me to get the life that I want to have, right? For my family and my children and my children's children and the future generations. So and keep that in mind. I'm not closing the gym. I'm not fitness coaching. I'm still doing that. This is just my second stream of revenue that's going to make my income astronomically larger faster. So if you know somebody, 50K, 200K, if you've never started a business and you've always wanted to, this is the way to do it. Don't do what I did, okay? Don't do it my way because my way was the hard way. Like I said, I've been using my own money. We built our entire gym with our own cash. Okay, the entire thing, all my marketing, I've always paid for out of my own pocket, all my courses, all my programs, all my mentorships, all my coaching, because I've gotten business coaching from a lot of other people before too, right? I've paid for it with my own money, okay? Don't do it my way, it's the hard way, okay? Use OPM, other people's money, to make you more money. That's the easy way, and that's how the big boys play. So anyways, that pretty much concludes my little disclosure of what I wanted to tell you guys that I was up to. So if you ready to get rich with me? If you're ready to get rich with me, let's roll.